Welcome back. And today we're heading into the Caledonia Valley, and it's one of the better drives in the Victorian High Country. And for those that can remember, the Caledonia River was the site of a huge bushfire back in 1998. I was lucky enough to drive this before that fire, and it changed this area really. It just wiped it out. It done a lot of damage right through the whole area. A massive hot fire, and they had so much trouble trying to contain it. First real massive use of helicopters and all that, and then it turned into an environmental nightmare after that, because when it was burnt out, they had big floods and it just pushed everything down into the Gippsland lakes and polluted, all the retardant and everything polluted the Gippsland lakes. It was quite a major thing. And the first drive back out here when it was open, around 2000, was just, the difference was just incredible. But this trip back now, 25 years later, just have a look at all these tall timbers and the way it's all bounced back. You'd never know that fire had ever gone through here. It's a really great show of just how well nature bounces back when it's sort of nurtured and looked after. It's been in the Alpine National Park all that time, so it's had a better management than most. And how impressive and how lush does it look at the moment, and just the start of summer. It really is one of those great places to hide out on the hot summer days. It's always 10 degrees cooler down here in the valley, and then you just got every river crossing to stop in and have a splash all the way through. And we're just coming up to the northernmost crossing here, the first one in the valley. A great little bit of paradise hidden away in the mountains. Just fantastic. This part of the track heads up out of the river a bit, and you sort of look down on it in a couple of places. But before the fires, it went through the river a lot more. They realigned it after the fires. And that was one of the big changes on this track. For a long time, following this section of track down along the side of the river here, you could see it was so stripped of vegetation, and what was there was quite low, that as you were driving down here you could see the river most of the time. But now it's just grown so much. There's only a few spots, even though the river's not far away, where you can see through to it. Just the colours and textures driving through here now, and look, I'm looking at the footage as I'm editing it. Really is a fantastic area. Just all those different gums, the different barks, and the depth of colour. it's just so lush. There's not many places in the high country where it's as lush and open as this. It's one of the things about the Caledonia Valley. It's quite wide open in most of it. And here's one of those rare spots now where it opens up right beside the river, and you follow it down for a bit and overlook it. It's really, really nice. You can see, as per usual, of all the rivers up in the Alpine National Park in the high country, you can just see every single stone in the river, and from a long way away. It's just pristine. Things to mention about the fires in '98. They reckon that the fire started down here in the Caledonia Valley at an old campfire that wasn't put out properly. And here's some traffic coming the other way. This is a bit unusual for me because I like to get out and do all this film when nobody's around, and I come out way off peak. It's pretty hard to be off peak even these days.
No worries. Yep, no worries, mate. It's interesting how that's undercut the tree roots there. The old gum tree's still standing tall.
How stunning is this bit of the river? Just incredible. I reckon I've watched that bit of footage at least 10 times, and I just think it gets better every time I see it. This really is a spectacular drive that anyone that is a keen four-wheel driver should definitely come out and do. Some of these places in the Caledonia Valley and back over on the McAllister River are just some of the best you'll see anywhere in Australia. On this day, it was quite overcast, as you can see, but this in full sun is just next level. And like the whole way down the valley, just when you think you've seen it all, away we go again. Like most other Gen X's, we used to do all of this and never took one single photo. We just do it day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, and not a single photo. But it's such a pleasure coming back and capturing it on film now. The view around this next bend, looking down through all the trees, all the different coloured trees and foliage, is just next level. The one thing that must be said is this summer being like every summer, especially in Victoria, being, you know, the most fire-prone spot in the world, and all the fires that have wiped things out in Vic at the moment, and seeing the Caledonia Valley and the way it's sprung back, it really is, nothing is forever. In time, it's all going to come back like this lush, incredible environment that was completely wiped out. And these are the last few jump ups out of the river, and just followed it around the last couple of bends before the Caledonia track heads back over to the McAllister River, and we'll be on Dingo Hill very shortly. This is one of the bigger camper spots on the Caledonia River, and probably one of the better known. Back in the day, there was heaps all the way along the river, but now there's very few. But this one's just near the junction of where the track heads around to, back to the McAllister River.
That's a nice crossing there. And Cascades.
This is getting very, very close to the end of the Caledonia River, And we've got one more crossing to go on the Caledonia. We're already on Dingo Hill Track and Dingo Creek and start heading up Dingo Hill. Dingo Hill's very, very steep. It's a lot different since they done the alterations probably 30 years ago to it, or a little bit more, but it's still very, very entertaining. And I've tried to film it from some really different angles, and it's definitely worth tuning into the next episode.